Remembrance Day to me means that I get to live in a country that I'm free. I can get up in the morning and not worry that my children are safe.
Usually Julie Gaume makes mosquito-proof clothing for her company called The Original Bug Shirt. But for months now, Julie and her staff have been working on something else as well. Something from Remembrance Day.
I felt that this year being everything surrounded around COVID, our whole lifestyle has changed. And I felt that Remembrance Day is not going to be what it always has been. We're not going to have the crowds. We're not going to have the services. None of that's going to happen.
You're catching up to me. I'm lollygagging.
So Julie had an idea she hoped would make it possible for people here in Powassan, in Northern Ontario, to still pay tribute to veterans.
So if we bring this in before we put the black on them, it's going to create that effect that we're going for.
Julie decided to make a dress entirely out of poppies.
Yeah, so it's going to look more like the petals. Perfect.
And during the more than 300 hours it took to make, the women had time to reflect.
The sacrifices we're making now because of COVID is a lot less than what a lot of people have made.
Absolutely. Our generation and the generations to come don't even know what war is. So it's more important than ever now to remember because we don't know. We have the incredible privilege of not knowing what it's like to live through a war and to say goodbye to our family members and not know if they're coming back.
Once the dress was finally finished, Julie put it in her store window. To complete the display, she added an Air Force uniform as well. Then she waited. She had no idea how people would react.
Yeah, all the poppies.
That's like the ones that you're doing at school, eh?
Yeah.
When they're looking at that dress, we want people to stop, to pause, and to reflect on what Remembrance Day means to them.
Yeah.
That's a lot of poppies on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can a dress made of poppies help people remember our veterans?
Do you know what Remembrance Day is for?
To remember people that died
You're right. Died doing what, though?
from the war.
Yeah. Do you know why they were at war?
No.
No. They were fighting for our freedom. So they risked their lives for us. So that's why we have Remembrance Day every year.
As we age and as younger generations come up, if we don't continue to share how important this is, it's going to get lost.
Absolutely gorgeous.
And it's not just civilians who stop and gaze at the dress. Meet Kathy Bilodeau.
I'm a military person. My dad was a military person. My husband was a military person. I have a lot of pride in serving my country, and I miss it. You know, as a veteran, you never stop serving your country. Brings a lot of pride. So to see this and to see the respect and the love that went into this beautiful display, it just touches my heart.
As the day ends, the dress and the soldier remain, lit up as an ongoing tribute to our veterans. But the next day I witnessed the full impact of the poppy dress when Dan Taylor stops to take a look. Dan's father fought in World War II. His grandfather died in the Battle of the Somme in World War I.
I miss him. I miss my dad. And this time of the year is hard.
What does it mean to you to see this dress?
I think of 1,000 other veterans, 100,000 veterans, 500,000 veterans who have died in battle. And at this time of the year, it's remembrance time.
What does it make you remember?
The tears, thousands of tears in my lifetime standing with the troops and seeing civilians crying, soldiers crying, just like I do. It's too emotional.
Dan says Remembrance Day will be harder for him this year because of the pandemic. He'll miss the tributes and the crowds. And maybe that makes what Julie and her staff created here even more important. A place for everybody in her hometown to pay tribute to Canada's veterans. Nick Purdon, CBC News, Powassan, Ontario.